In today's episode, a story that shocked the world, involving drug smuggling, the Hells Angels, and a seemingly innocent family caught in the crossfire. Buckle up, because this is a ride you won't forget. On November 14th, 2018, the world was rocked when a seemingly ordinary husband and wife were handed the death penalty in a Thai court. Little did we know, this was just the tip of the iceberg. Meet Luke Cook, a FFO caterer living a seemingly mundane life in Thailand. But as we unravel his story, we'll find out just how deep he was entangled with the notorious Hells Angels. Luke Cook's journey into the treacherous world of crime began innocently enough, set against the backdrop of Thailand's coastal town of Pattaya, a picturesque location that hid the sinister underbelly of the Hells Angels drug empire. Luke, a fly-in, fly-out caterer, was leading what seemed like a routine life running a bar and guest house in this vibrant town. Little did he know that his seemingly mundane existence would collide with the notorious Wayne Schneider, a key figure in the Hells Angels and a seasoned player in the illicit world of drug smuggling. As Australian authorities escalated their crackdown on drug traffickers, Schneider, with his 375 intelligence entries and 8 outstanding warrants, was searching for the perfect pawn in his dangerous game. Luke Cook, a man seemingly distant from the criminal underworld, became the unsuspecting target. The question lingered. Why would someone like Cook, a family man running a bar, get involved in such a perilous venture? Schneider, known for his audacious drug smuggling ventures, needed a front man, a person with the appearance of an ordinary citizen, someone who could slip through the cracks undetected. Luke Cook, with his offshore work experience and connections in Pattaya, presented the perfect facade for Schneider's nefarious plans. It was a classic case of the wolf in sheep's clothing, as Cook's charm and camaraderie made him an unwitting candidate for Schneider's malevolent agenda. In the coastal haven of Pattaya, where the line between the idyllic and the sinister is thin, Schneider and his Hells Angels accomplices frequented Luke Cook's bar, building a seemingly innocent rapport. The unsuspecting Cook, amidst the laughter and camaraderie, began sharing the struggles of his failing business, a vulnerability that would later be exploited by Schneider. Wayne Schneider, a cunning manipulator with a keen eye for opportunities, saw Luke Cook as the ultimate candidate to execute his dangerous plan. Cook, married with 2 sons, owned businesses teetering on the edge of failure, making him desperate for quick cash. Schneider recognized the financial desperation in Cook's eyes, realizing it was the perfect leverage to coerce him into the drug trade. As the trust between Cook and Schneider deepened, the Hells Angels members saw an opening for a mutually beneficial arrangement. Cook's vulnerabilities became Schneider's assets, and a deal was struck. Luke Cook would receive $10 million for importing, on Schneider's behalf, a staggering half a ton of meth from China into Thailand. The seemingly ordinary bar owner had unknowingly signed up for a perilous mission that would thrust him into the heart of an international drug smuggling ring. The clandestine exchange was set to take place in the South China Sea, an area where the laws of no single country held sway. Luke Cook, a seller of boats and yachts, understood his role: to sail into international waters, conduct the exchange, and smuggle the drugs into Thailand. It appeared deceptively simple, a task that Cook, in his unsuspecting role, believed he could execute without arousing suspicion. In the inky blackness of the night, a Chinese trawler nicknamed Jandy emerged, holding within its icy depths a cargo that would forever alter the course of Luke Cook's life. Unbeknownst to him, the significant consignment he was about to receive belonged to the notorious Hells Angels. As the exchange unfolded, Cook found himself handed 4 yellow sacks marked with red Chinese characters, each carrying a deadly payload, methamphetamine estimated to be worth a staggering $300 million, destined for the Australian market. The complexity of the operation lay in the fact that Luke Cook, a bar owner and modest businessman, was thrust into the role of a high-stakes drug trafficker. The pressure intensified as he embarked on his journey back to the Satahip district of Chonburi province in Thailand, navigating the dark waters with the weight of the illicit cargo on his shoulders. However, as fate would have it, the seemingly foolproof plan began unraveling. A border patrol yacht, like a specter in the night, spotted Cook's vessel. Panic seized him as the authorities attempted to establish contact. In a desperate bid to evade capture, Cook, under the scrutiny of the border patrol, made a fateful decision. He dropped the 4 yellow sacks into the ocean, disappearing into the darkness, leaving behind a trail of uncertainty and a cargo of deadly narcotics lost to the abyss. But those were no ordinary sacks. They held the crystalline demon known as ice, a powerful and destructive drug that had now vanished into the depths, setting the stage for a chain of events that would plunge Luke Cook into a nightmare he never saw coming. Stick around to find out the shocking twist that turns friends into enemies, leaving one dead and the other on death row. You won't believe what happens next. As we delve deeper into the shadows of Luke Cook's unwitting descent into the criminal underworld, the layers of this dark narrative begin to unfold. A family man and proprietor of a modest bar in the coastal haven of Pattaya, Thailand, Cook's life took a sharp turn when the notorious Hell's Angels, led by Wayne Schneider, cast their sinister gaze upon him. Cook's businesses, once the source of his livelihood, were now teetering on the brink of failure. It was within this vulnerability that Schneider saw an opportunity, a chance to manipulate a seemingly ordinary man, transforming him into the perfect pawn in a high-stakes drug smuggling operation. The Hell's Angels thrive on exploiting the desperate, and in Cook, Schneider found the ideal candidate. Desperation can be a potent catalyst for choices one might never consider under ordinary circumstances. Cook, grappling with the pressures of failing ventures and the financial responsibilities of a family, became susceptible to the allure of quick cash. Little did he know that the Hell's Angels were orchestrating a plan that would entangle him in a web of crime with far-reaching consequences. The objective was clear: smuggle a staggering $300 million worth of methamphetamine from China into Thailand and ultimately to the shores of Australia. What seemed on the surface to be a straightforward mission soon revealed its sinister complexities. Cook, a man far removed from the criminal underworld, was now an unwitting player in a dangerous game orchestrated by the Hell's Angels, a ruthless biker gang notorious for their involvement in illicit activities. The plan unfolded with a series of clandestine meetings, concealed behind the facade of Cook's coastal bar. As Schneider and his accomplices frequented the establishment, a camaraderie developed, masking the true nature of their dealings. Cook, in his pursuit of financial stability, unknowingly forged ties with individuals who operated on the fringes of the law. As the intricate details of the smuggling operation were unveiled to Cook, he found himself at a crossroads, a pivotal moment that would determine not only his fate, but the lives of those entangled with him. The seemingly simple task of transporting drugs across international waters became a perilous journey, fraught with unforeseen challenges. Cook's entanglement in this web of crime was not merely about delivering cargo. It was about navigating the treacherous waters of deception, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of criminal enterprises. The Hell's Angels, with their global network and expertise in evading law enforcement, had ensnared an unsuspecting family man in a perilous game where the stakes were higher than he could comprehend. In the pursuit of financial salvation, Luke Cook had unwittingly stepped into a realm where the boundaries between right and wrong blurred, and the consequences of his actions would echo far beyond the coastal confines of Pattaya. As we journey deeper into this intricate tale, the true cost of Cook's entanglement in crime will become starkly apparent, revealing a narrative that transcends the boundaries of morality and thrusts us into the heart of a criminal underworld where trust is a rare commodity and loyalty comes at an unthinkable price. The clandestine exchange, a pivotal moment in the intricate plot orchestrated by the Hell's Angels, unfolds in the vast expanse of the South China Sea. It is here that Luke Cook, an unwitting pawn in this dangerous game, comes face to face with the gravity of his entanglement in criminal affairs. As the dark waters of the South China Sea play host to this illicit transaction, Cook finds himself handed 4 inconspicuous yellow sacks. Unbeknownst to him, these seemingly innocuous bags contain a deadly cargo, a consignment of methamphetamine with a street value soaring to an astonishing $300 million. The crystalline substance, commonly referred to as ice, was destined for the insatiable markets of Australia, where its impact would reverberate far beyond the initial exchange. In this clandestine rendezvous, Cook becomes the reluctant courier of a substance known for its destructive potential. The weight of the situation intensifies as the reality sets in. He is now entrusted with a cargo that not only holds the key to his financial redemption, but also seals his fate within the clutches of the Hells Angels. With the bag securely in his possession, Cook sets sail, embarking on a journey fraught with peril. The waters, initially tranquil, bear witness to the unfolding drama as Cook navigates the South China Sea, unaware that every ripple in the water beneath his vessel conceals the ominous shadows of impending doom. The plan, crafted in the shadows by the Hells Angels, demands a seamless transition of the illicit cargo from the yacht to the shores of Thailand. However, the fates have other plans. As Cook attempts to smuggle the drugs into Thailand, the clandestine operation encounters a series of unforeseen challenges that cascade into a disastrous sequence of events. Border patrol yachts, vigilant guardians of international waters, cast their searching gaze upon Cook's vessel. Panic courses through his veins as the authorities attempt to establish contact. In a desperate bid to avoid capture, Cook, with the contraband still in his possession, makes a decision that would have far-reaching consequences. He drops the 4 yellow sacks into the unforgiving depths of the South China Sea. The bags, now lost to the abyss, carry not only the weight of a deadly cargo, but also the hopes of the Hells Angels' lucrative drug operation. What was intended as a smooth operation takes a dark turn, leaving Cook stranded in the open sea, his vessel echoing with the ghostly whispers of a plan gone awry. The ramifications of this ill-fated decision extend beyond the immediate chaos. The disappearance of the meth consignment triggers a chain reaction, setting in motion a series of events that will cast a shadow over Cook's life, unraveling the carefully woven fabric of the Hells Angels' criminal enterprise. As we navigate the turbulent waters of revelations, the true cost of Cook's involvement becomes evident, and the narrative evolves into a tale of suspense, deception, and the inexorable pursuit of justice in the face of insurmountable odds. Stay tuned to find out how Luke Cook's desperate attempt to cover up the mess leads to a twisted alliance, a deadly plan, and a half-ton of ice gone missing. This is a true crime saga like no other. The narrative takes an ominous twist as the criminal saga unfolds further. In the heart of Thailand, the tranquil facade of Pattaya shatters when Wayne Schneider, the enigmatic leader of the Hells Angels, meets a gruesome end. Schneider, a figure notorious for his involvement in drug smuggling and criminal enterprises, falls victim to a brutal murder that sends shockwaves through the criminal underworld. The details of Schneider's demise reveal a chilling orchestration of violence. Antonio Bato, once a confidant and associate of Schneider, now finds himself thrust into the center of a sinister plot. The lines between friendship and treachery blur as Bato becomes a key player in the aftermath of Schneider's murder. As the Hells Angels leader is ruthlessly silenced, a web of dark secrets begins to unravel. Schneider's death was not just a violent end to a criminal mastermind. It was a turning point that would dictate the fate of those entangled in the web of deceit. Antonio Bato, caught in the crossfire, faces a dilemma, a choice that could either secure his safety or plunge him deeper into the abyss of criminal repercussions. The bond between Schneider and Bato, once forged in the crucible of illicit deals and shared ventures, now faces the ultimate test. The aftermath of Schneider's murder becomes a crucible of loyalty, vengeance, and survival. Bato, aware of the dangerous repercussions that echo in the criminal underworld, is faced with a pivotal decision. Will he aid Luke Cook and Douglas Shoebridge in covering up the mess left behind by Schneider's demise, or will he allow them to face the unforgiving hands of justice? The dynamics of criminal alliances, built on trust and the shared pursuit of illicit gains, now crumble in the wake of Schneider's murder. Bato, driven by self-preservation and perhaps haunted by the ghosts of their shared criminal past, must navigate a perilous path. The stakes are high, and the consequences of his choices will resonate far beyond the borders of Pattaya. In the clandestine corridors of criminal cover-ups, Bato's actions become a linchpin, influencing the trajectory of the story. Will he extend a helping hand to Cook and Shoebridge, sealing their fates together in a pact of secrecy? Or will he choose self-preservation, allowing justice to unfurl its relentless pursuit on those entangled in Schneider's violent demise? As the story unfolds, the tension escalates, and the dark secrets buried within the criminal underworld are brought to light. The choices made in the aftermath of Schneider's murder will define the destinies of those involved, and the narrative hurtles toward a climactic confrontation where alliances are tested and the shadows of betrayal loom large. In the hallowed halls of the Thai Supreme Court, justice becomes the focal point as the gripping tale of Luke Cook's entanglement in the Hells Angels' web of crime reaches its climax. The echoes of a 4-year ordeal reverberate through the courtrooms, and the shocking truth behind Cook's arrest and conviction begins to unravel like a tightly wound spool of secrets. The Thai Supreme Court, an arbiter of justice, becomes the stage for the final act of this dramatic narrative. Advocates for Luke Cook and his wife mount a compelling case, demanding a re-evaluation of the evidence and the circumstances that led to their harrowing journey through the judicial system. The mist of uncertainty surrounding their arrest begins to dissipate, unveiling a mistrial that marks the culmination of years spent entangled in the coils of suspicion and legal intricacies. As the mistrial is declared, a palpable sense of relief washes over Luke Cook and his wife. The weight of impending doom that hung over their heads begins to lift, and the corridors of justice echo with the resounding conclusion of their legal battle. The question lingers: were they truly architects of their fate, or were they unwitting pawns in a much darker game orchestrated by the Hells Angels? The revelation of a mistrial adds a poignant twist to the tale, raising doubts about the legitimacy of their arrest and conviction. The courtroom, once a battleground where the prosecution and defense clashed, now becomes a theater of redemption. The intricacies of the criminal underworld, the clandestine alliances, and the shadows of the Hells Angels' influence cast doubt on the narrative that had branded Cook and his wife as criminals. In the wake of this legal upheaval, a lingering enigma hangs in the air. Did Luke Cook and his wife truly mess with the Hells Angels, or were they merely unwitting actors in a much larger and more insidious play? The mistrial may offer a reprieve, but the echoes of the dark secrets woven into the fabric of their entanglement linger, leaving the audience to ponder the depths of the criminal underworld and the true cost of crossing paths with the notorious Hells Angels. As the curtains fall on this gripping saga, the answers to these questions remain elusive, leaving behind a lingering sense of intrigue and a chilling reminder that the shadows of the criminal underworld can obscure the boundaries between guilt and innocence. The closing scene, though marking the end of a legal battle, opens the door to contemplation, inviting us to question the intricacies of justice and the enigmatic forces that propel ordinary lives into the heart of darkness. Before we conclude this chilling tale, make sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you can't get enough of true crime stories, hit that like button and share this video with your fellow crime enthusiasts. Until next time, stay vigilant and remember, truth can be stranger than fiction.